turn the radio off right now and listen to The Chris Miles Show.
Check your resources.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Chris Miles Show.
What's
Welcome to
happening,
the Chris
people?
Miles Show.
What's going on? What's going on? I hope all is well. I am your host, Chris Miles, sitting in with that of Mr. Producer. What's going on, Mr. Producer?
Not much, man. It's just another great Sunday, man. Loving being here. How's everybody doing out there? How you doing?
Man, I'm making it, man, under the circumstances. Let me put my eyes on so I can see. Yeah, I'm good, man. Just a lot of crazy shit going on out there, man. As always, man, it's like every week there's something dramatic going on, and we are going to do our best to cover it. Let me go on and get all of the social media content out of the way. So if you are on social media, let's start with TikTok, right?
Yeah.
If you're on TikTok, you can find us at symbol, that's the @ I'm Chris Miles. Twitter, which we're streaming live, @ I'm Chris Miles. Instagram, @ I'm Chris Miles. Facebook, @ I'm Chris Miles. And Threads, which is the new social media conglomerate that Mark Zuckerberg has come up with to challenge Twitter, @ I'm Chris Miles. So those are all of the social media conglomerates that you can find us on. Also, too, I'm going to let you talk about the YouTube stuff. Go ahead, Mr. Producer.
Here today, right now on YouTube, we have accumulated over 1,000 subscribers. So we've been working really hard. The admins, everybody's been working hard to try to get people to subscribe. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, y'all can come on over to the YouTube channel, subscribe. Tonight we're gonna do the little Cash App giveaway. We're gonna give away $25 to one lucky person that subscribed to the YouTube channel. So probably in about 30 minutes. 45 minutes, I'll pull a name and we'll try to get in contact with you and see if you can send us your Cash App. We're giving away $25 today. It ain't much. Get you a half a tank of gas. Maybe, buy you a little dinner, a little snack or something. But it's something to show our gratitude for all the people that have subscribed and that's been supporting the channel. So we're gonna get into it.
Yeah, so you can find us on YouTube, The Chris Miles Show. Once again, you can find us on YouTube, The Chris Miles Show. And like I said, subscribe, like, and follow. There's a lot of bullshit going on, as always, right? So we have in our native city of Montgomery. Oh, before we do that, let me just let me go here, right? So I was actually just sending out links to some of my closest friends. So tonight we're actually having on Memphis businessman and attorney Javier Bailey. All right. So he's going to come on. He's going to be coming on shortly. And also we have scheduled model Catalina. She's in Las Vegas. She did contact me and said that she got the time confused. So we are hoping to interview her. It might not happen, but if it's not, we apologize in advance. We might have to reschedule her. But also, too, we have my good friend, who's also a native of, Wetumpka is what? How many miles outside of Montgomery? What, 30 minutes? Maybe 25?
10 minutes, maybe?
10 minutes? Okay.
Depending on where you go.
All right, so he's originally from, he's a native of Wetumpka. He now lives in Dallas, Texas. Good friend, like a brother to me, Jarrell Braswell. He's been on tour with Bubba Dub. So they're crisscrossing the country right now, doing their thing. So he's on tonight with us. He's going to hang out with us for a little while. So we're just excited about the show. We hope everybody is enjoying it. What we're trying to do is pivot into doing some other things with the Chris Miles Show. As the show has grown, Mr. Producer and some of the other people that's actually connected to the platform we're wanting to deviate from the political aspect of things. Like, we're still going to do it, but it will not be the main focus of what we've been doing. We haven't completely gotten it out of our system yet. So what we're going to do is coming up here in, 2 weeks?
You said 23rd?
23rd? Yeah. So the 23rd is going to be real interesting, people, because we have L. Milliner versus Zach Buckner. So these two are going to get in the ring of debate. And, L is a younger guy, but he's staunchly conservative. He's a Republican, Donald Trump supporter. So he's going to get in the ring with that of Zach Buckner. And they're going to go at each other. Now, what's interesting about all of that is me and Mr. Producer are working on a questionnaire, and no one will know what the questions are. Like, they're going to get in the ring with each other, and they are going to battle. But they will not get the questions because we're not going to give it to them. So, and as a matter of fact, we should have the phone line up then, right?
Yeah, hopefully we'll have the phone line up and, select few people. Select few, maybe to call in and ask some questions, or
we got to send a link to Jarrell. He just hit me.
All right.
So we're going to we should have the phone line up at that particular time, and you will be able to call in and pose your questions. So this is which we've done it before, but at the time that the show was in LA, so we transitioned the show to Atlanta, and I think we're going to still keep the 310 number, but so the phone line is not active right now. So we're in the process of working on the number. We're going to get the number back up, and then once we do that, then we will
take calls.
Let me give a couple of shots out. So I want to shout out nephew Shakeem. he's hope everything is well with my nephew Shakeem. Also, too, I want to shout out my cousin Karen Miles Phillips. She's in the Bay Area, Golden State.
They ain't no threat.
So anyway, I want to give a shout out to my cousin. I love you. No, she's dealing with a lot where her mom has not really been doing well. Miss you, cuz. So yeah, she's in the Bay Area. I want to send out some shots to my LA homies out there who I miss. Dunny, Greg Vanderpas. Who else I want to shout out? Anyway, it'll come to me. And also, I want to give a shout out to Ray Moore, a friend of mine, Montgomery, Alabama. Also, want to shout out, although I haven't talked with him, my homeboy, David White, Atlanta, Georgia. David, get at me, man. All right? And my homeboy, the Paris Accords, Paris Peegler.
Baby boy.
So matter of fact, I sent him the link. And also too, let's give a shout out to Michael Corleone.
Michael Corleone.
Where you at, Corleone?
Michael Corleone doing the day party right now off Welfare Road, man. Y'all go
down
check
in
him
Montgomery,
out,
Alabama. So yeah, go check him out.
Day party, man.
He doing a day party. Hope he got his pocket square. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know, we gonna have fun today, man. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of dumb shit from what I've seen. Like, you know, it's crazy because like things be happening, right? And when stuff go down, people like will send me the they'll send me the link, or they'll send me a DM me, or they'll text me, or some other type of bullshit. They're like, "Hey man, have you seen such and such happen? What's going on and all this other stuff?"
They want to hear your reaction, man. They want to hear what you got to say about it, man.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, then what's crazy about it is like people like, man, like they'll send me stuff. Like it might be 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying? I get a phone call, or I'll get something. I'm like, listen, I ain't really trying to deal with that bullshit right now. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it is what it is. But Mr. Producer, we have a video that was sent to us, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Now this is the thing, people. This is the you know, and we're gonna talk about this too. But I think I'm gonna wait to I bring on attorney Javier Begley. We're gonna bring the conversation back up about affirmative action, but we're not gonna go into the spiel because we covered it last week. And in 2 weeks, the two I don't call them politicians, but the ones that are actually representing the party will be addressing the issue based upon politics. Okay. So we're going to cover that for what it's worth. But this is what I have to talk about, right? Like our kids, these black kids out here today, man. Like this is why I often say that black fathers are needed in the home.
You gonna play the video first?
No, just hold on. I'm gonna give you a second. All right. But this is what I want to say before you play the video, Mr. Producer. I want to talk to the sisters out here, right? Me and Mr. Producer was talking about this, and we have a friend that we've really tried to help, right? But these black women out here, all of them, they'll tell you quickly, I'm bossed up. And we actually had a conversation with Miss Christina Blue, who's also a native of Montgomery, Alabama, who also now lives in Atlanta like we do, right? All right, so we had this conversation with her based upon some of the content that we actually see going on, right? Now, this is not a battle with the sisters out here, but this is what I have to say, and this is what I want to say. Like, I'm seeing a lot of things that are going on, if it's where I am or throughout the country, and things are going on, and a lot of things that I see happening is happening because there are no black fathers in the home. Like, the structure that these young black men need comes from the father. And this is why we're struggling to get this phone line back up, because we want to actually take phone calls pertaining to the matter of what we're talking about now. There's a plethora of problems that we see persistent in the black community. And I think a lot of these things could be quickly fixed by these mothers putting fathers back in the home. What you say, Mr. Producer?
Yeah, I agree. We don't have enough male leadership out here. I mean, it falls down on the men's shoulders, to be honest. You know, the women, they gonna do what they gonna do. You know, it's not their responsibility to try to turn a boy into a man. But at the same time, you know, you gotta try to pick a good man and stick with him. But we need more male leadership out here, man, because our future just running wild right now. Our future is not cemented. It ain't got no roots. It's just, you know, these kids out here just running amok, man, and I don't know. It's sad. It's sad, man.
You know, the thing that gets me, truthfully, is like I'm saying, we are seeing just all of these disparaging things that are going on, right? And one of the things that I see that's a bad episode is that, and I have to say this, the Republicans are repealing or they're doing away with these conduits that have been put in place. Like, these people are really against us, man. All walks of life. And the young man that will be here on the 23rd, I asked him something, what was that, last week? Or that's been 2 weeks ago? I asked him,
it was last week.
I asked him what was the solution, and he said, lower taxes. And I asked the question, how is it lower taxes fix the problem when there's so many chaotic things that are going on that are problematic? Mr. Producer's finna play a video of something to show you that the shit that these kids are doing in today's era is just dumb shit. Like, these kids are out here doing crimes where they getting assault, they're getting battery, all type of just dumb crime, and they're throwing their lives away. And the system loves this because the system is taxing them. And these kids are going to jail anywhere between 2 to 15 years for dumb shit. And this is what I'm saying. This is why the structure of fathers are needed. And I don't give a shit what nobody say. A woman cannot train a young man into a young man. And this is the chaotic things that we see that's devastating our community. And when these young black men go out here and they fuck up, the system is gonna fuck over them. The system is gonna fuck over.
Yeah, they're gonna fuck them over, man.
And this is what we try to do here on the Chris Miles Show. We try to cover the hard facts of situations that we know that needs to come out. And it's sad. It's so disparaging at this point to see these things. And what happens in the process when these things come out, the people that's really against them, they make mockery of it. All through the country. Like, there was another situation where, and I should have prepared the video where, and I'm just going to speak on it. A black woman was traveling in Texas and driving a brand new Cadillac truck. And some police officers in Dallas, Texas, pulled her over. And I think they had a preacher in the car with them. And they held them at gunpoint. Like, they just, fucked over them in the worst way. And then we see a situation pop off where there's this happened in an area that I'm very familiar with, Lancaster, which is 70 miles out of Los Angeles. well, a black family was at a Winco grocery food and chain store. And they got accused of actually stealing out of the store. Turned out to be, they didn't take anything out of it. It was supposed to be like a cake that they took out of the store. And they were shaken down. The guy was handcuffed. And the black woman was just there recording to make sure that her husband didn't get mistreated or hurt in the worst way. So this officer, this deputy, goes over to her, throws her down, and the woman has cancer. Okay, she's taking chemo. Throws her down. We don't have that video, do we? This is what we're going to try to do. We're going to run the video that happened in the guys in Montgomery, Alabama, right? Then we'll take a commercial break, and we'll try to get that video. But this is the point that I'm making. Like, so the officer goes over, or the deputy goes over, throws her down, rough this woman up, sprays her, and put his knee on her neck. And this is why I'm saying that it is so detrimental for our kids to understand the what's truly going on out here in society. Like, society is set up to do what it does, which is to make your life difficult. And the point is, what I'm saying is, if it's a situation where fathers in the home, then where fathers are, you're going to have structure. What we see going on today in society with our kids, there's no structure. And we see all type of other bad things going on. One of the other things I want to say, too, before you play that video, is that I watched the documentary on Clarence Thomas.
Yeah.
Very good documentary. It's actually on YouTube. Let me just say this. Clarence Thomas people came up extremely hard. Like, this guy had it. He had it really hard, man. There's no excuse for some of the things that he do now, but his lineage is something that is called Gullah Geechee. You've heard of that before, right, Maya?
Yeah.
Mr. Producer?
Yeah, I've heard traveling down to North and South Carolina. I've talked with, I done ran into him. I done talked to him. One of my friends, they her lineages go back there. She's supposed to be Geechee. But yeah. So
Gullah Geechee, this is what people have to understand. All right. So Gullah Geechee is it's a tribe that comes from West Africa. These are actually Hebrews people. We're not Africans, we're Hebrews. But their dialect, or the language that they speak is broken. So this is one of the reasons why, still from that time to this time, when it comes to oral arguments, you don't never see Clarence Thomas make any. And that is simply because his English is, from that point to right now today, in real time, is bad. And as a child, he was maligned, he was talked about, he was beat down. He was dark skinned, he had, nappy hair, had big lips, and so the other kids made fun of him. And he carried that, and he still carries it today. When he got an opportunity to go, matter of fact, before the woman that he's married to now, she was actually an outcast too. So you actually had two outcasts that came together. They met in college and all this other stuff. But what happened with Clarence Thomas is, when he got to Yale, he got in through what's called affirmative action. And some of the other black kids that were there at that university, they got in because their parents were maybe privileged, or for whatever reason, they got there. But he was outcast, and so he didn't really intermingle with them. He also was a part of, during the time that he came up in an era where he saw, Malcolm X were speaking out against oppression and white supremacy and things that were going on. And he really liked Malcolm X. Like, Malcolm X was his hero. And he wanted to be a part of the Black Panthers because the outcry of what he saw that black people were going through at that time. So there were so many components that were going on, but also too, the Catholic Church saw a lot of potential in him, so they started pulling him away from that. So once he got into Yale and all this other stuff, he just shifted, okay? But he still had a desire for women, like most men do. And in the process of all of that, things started to change. But anyway, I want to encourage people to go watch this documentary. Just type in Clarence Thomas documentary and watch. It's a really good documentary. It talks about a lot. It basically breaks down what type of person he is and why he has the mentality that he has. And the people that put him in position was like Ronald Reagan and Bush and all these other people that gave him an opportunity. They saw that he could be easily manipulated, and they took advantage of it. And what you see then is what you see now. Mr. Producer, do you want to take a commercial break? Let us connect some more links, and then we'll come back with that commercial of what happened down there in Montgomery, Alabama.
All right, we can do that.
Okay. All right, everybody hang out. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back with the video. And we're also in the process going to try to find the footage of what happened to the sister out there in Lancaster, California, 70 miles outside of Los Angeles. Everybody hang out with us. We'll be right back.
Big KD presents their 29th radio anniversary blues show, Saturday, July 29th at the Crampton Bowl Multiplex, featuring a Vail Hollywood. Is you 25 and Jay Wan?
I got this record.
Kenny Wayne.
You're my angel.
Vic Allen. Magic One.
Baby, you're the baddest.
And introducing Q.
You is a fool.
Plus, Funky Country, Miss Poochie, and Portia P. Doors open at 6 p.m., showtime 7. General admission tickets are only $45. Reserved seating is $50. There are only a limited number of advance tickets available. Get your tickets at all the usual ticket outlets. Saturday, July 29th, it's about to go down. It's the 29th radio anniversary blues show for the Big KD. Don't miss Avail Hollywood, Jay Wan, Kenny Wayne, Vic Allen, Magic One, and many more at the Crampton Bowl Multiplex in Montgomery. Be there.
All right, man, I'm gonna play this video, man. We'll Hold on. Yeah, that was it. That was at the Sam's Club in Montgomery, Alabama.
So what's really sad about that is, okay, so the music, thank you, Brother Ray Moore. The music that you hear, now this was mixed by some individual out of Montgomery, Alabama. So what I'm saying is the mockery that happened, and you know what? It should be mockery. Like these kids, from what was sent to us, stole somebody's vehicle, and the dummies ran to, what's that, Sam's Club?
Yeah, that's Sam's Club.
Sam's Club in Montgomery, Alabama. They ran into the store to hide from law enforcement. Like how dumb and stupid can you be? And the point is, if you go and you look at the scenario that played out, that unfolded, right? You're going to find out that there is no fathers whatsoever in the home. I wonder will old girl go to try to save them, get them out?
More than likely she will. You know, ain't no criminals when it comes to a lot of these advocates out here. Everybody, all the prisoners need to be free.
You know, this is really bad. Like these kids, and they're kids that have thrown their life away over some bullshit. And what's really sad about it is a lot of people could have got hurt, excuse me.
Yeah, they jumped out the car, ain't even put it in park. The truck kept rolling, could have ran somebody over.
That's a charge.
Yeah, that's a charge. Manslaughter, reckless endangerment. They gonna add up them charges, man. What could have been, probation or something could turn into some years.
Oh, 15, 20 years. Easy.
That's what I'm saying, man. We need some more black leadership, man. We need some more male leadership.
And this is the thing that I tell people all the time, right? Politicians, mayors of cities, people blame them. You can't blame the politicians. It's not their fault. What are they supposed to do?
They ain't raising them kids.
What are they supposed to do? It comes down to the constituents in the community, the preachers, people in the neighbors.
Because I remember times where we ran the street or something, acting a fool, whatever parent there, they'll beat us, take us home, tell our daddy.
You got another ass whooping when you got home.
Man, man. It ain't none of that no more, man.
And the sad part about it, Mr. Producer, is, these kids have the wrong mentality about life, man. Like, man, you go out here for something, you won't work for it.
Man, they want it right then, man. They fast, quick, microwave.
And then, you're looking at all of this dogma that you see on all of the award shows. Like, they just had the BET Awards, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that shit that was on there, man, it's like
BET Awards.
It's sad. Oh, this is the other thing I want to talk about too. Everybody is also talking about the usher. And what's the young lady name?
Keke Palmer.
Yeah. Like the girl Keke Palmer's boyfriend or fiance.
Baby dad.
Baby dad, okay. Like people dog this guy out because he came out and he spoke out against her actions.
Right, and what she had on. I agree with him, man. I mean, granted, you can't. If your woman ain't got enough respect for you to go out, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying she a mother. She out there in the see-through outfit, but I mean ass all out. Usher dancing on the dude. I mean, you know, that dude, he was hurt, man. He spoke out and people bashed him.
So I would feel the same way if that was mine. But this is the thing. Let me just say this. Because my cousin in California, she last week, and then one of my other cousins from Detroit, she's like, "Cuz, what you got going on with the women on here?" Right? So this is what people have to understand about the Chris Miles Show. Everything we're doing is purely entertainment. Okay? Like, this show it's not a free show. So what sells?
I mean, sex sells.
Okay? I don't come out here and I just come on for the fact of, okay, I'm gonna come and waste my time. Like this here has to pay me and Mr. Producer. Like, you got the equipment that we put the show on with, stuff costs. Spotify. These people are looking for numbers. When our numbers go up, our check go up. Now, we're not there will be some form of decency to what we do. Okay? Now, we're not out here for the fact of, we just exploiting women. That's not what we do. That's not what I do.
I'm saying they sending you this. You know what I'm saying? They putting themselves out there like that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing that you just hand picking.
So the things that you all see going on is that the content is sent to us, or they agree to provide, or if we go out to film it, then the platform that we have, they agree by contract. Okay, so let's put that out there, because my cousin asked me earlier about one of the reels that was put up today. She was really curious about, like, what angle are you going? Okay, so that everybody knows, we are doing things that will keep us vibrant. All right, that's what that is.
You ready to bring on the guests?
Yeah, we're gonna bring up. Oh, were you able to get the before I bring him up?
Yeah,
the video
of the woman. Yeah, I got you.
Or do you want to just? No, you know what? Just hold it. Let's bring in. He's ready?
Yeah, he ready.
Okay, let's bring in attorney and businessman Javier Bailey, and we will discuss this with him.
Yeah.
All right.
How you doing, Mr. Bailey? Can you hear us?
All right. I'm all right. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you loud and clear.
All right.
How you doing, Brother Bailey?
I'm good. I'm good.
Wow, I am honored to have you on. I have been a longtime fan of your content and just some of the things that you do. I came across you by a friend of mine, like a brother to me, David White, out of here in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
David,
I know who David White is.
You know who he is?
Yes.
Yeah. He has relatives there in your area. Anyway, so David kind of turned me on to you, and you used to put out a lot of great debates. Mm-hmm. And from that standpoint, I started following you. And one of the other things I wanted to talk about too, your son went to my school. He just recently finished, from my understanding, correct?
Which I have three sons.
Okay, the son that attended Tuskegee.
Yes, he finished in 2 years ago.
Okay. Mr. Bay, let me do this real quickly. Mr. Producer want to introduce you. Excuse my manners, but go ahead. Go ahead.
That's okay.
Oh no, we just wanted you to give the people a little bit about yourself. People a little bit about yourself. That's all. Then we'll
Well, of
pick up.
course, I'm in Memphis, and I prefer to be called Jay Bailey. My name is Javier. I have a son named Javier too, so but I've been called Jay all my life. When I was born down in Louisiana, and my dad named me after a Hispanic baseball player. It was his favorite baseball player, and not many people, there wasn't many Hispanics around in the country as they are now. And so there wasn't a lot of Spanish of us that spoke Spanish. And so everybody called me Jay for short. But I've been, I come from a family that has been active in community affairs, politics, and law since the 60s. My father, my uncle, and my mom, to a certain extent, were heavily involved in the civil rights movement. And actually, I think my dad's he's one of a few left who he was Martin King's lawyer,
Oh man.
and he was also a part of the first. When we moved back, I was born on Southern University's campus. Just to give you a little bit about myself. Literally, while my mom and dad were in college, and my dad went to law school there. Actually, he never finished undergrad. They put him out of undergrad because he was involved in the student sit-in movements.
Dang.
But he was a two-time All-American football player.
Oh man.
So they let him come back, but they only let him come back if he did not live or associate with the regular student body. So they put him in law school. That's how he ended up going to law school. And we lived in Marist student housing there. When we moved back to Memphis, briefly, my dad joined it wasn't a firm, but he shared office space with Ben Hooks, Ben F. Jones, Russell Sugarman. And these guys were, and A.W. Willis, they were giants in the civil rights movement. He later went out on his own, and my uncle, DeArmey, who conceptualized and founded the Civil Rights Museum here, had been active in the civil rights movement on a national level. And he was in Berkeley, moved back to Memphis after having a fallout with the Black Panthers. And so it became the two of them. And we have a predominantly black, just to give you an idea how influential that was, we have a predominantly black justice system here. We have more black judges than we do white judges. And almost every single one, with the exception of maybe two, of those judges came through our firm at one time or another. I left the practice, considering going back now, but I left the practice a few years ago, and I am the chief administrator for the assessor's office. When I left the practice, I made a conscious decision that I would do everything I could to remain relevant. And so I began using social media platforms and other newspapers. I write columns for newspapers. I began doing commentaries and just simply putting it out there in a way that I felt, I wasn't going on the subjects. I wasn't worried about violating any ethics rules or any of that. My position was to just be straight up, and because we don't have enough of that right now. I spent 13 years affiliated with the Nation of Islam, although I'm Kojic now, but
Man.
there was a time in my life where I was heavily affiliated with the Nation of Islam. And many of those gentlemen on a national level are still very close to me. And so if that gives you some idea of my orientation, that's who you're talking to.
Yeah, man, you deeply rooted out here, man.
And I've got 3 sons and a daughter. My daughter lives in Vegas, And I've been pushing them to do the same thing. The son that Chris was speaking of, Jabari is his name.
Yes.
Jabari runs our family real estate firm. Javier II is practicing law. And my daughter, who is another partner in our firm, our real estate firm,
Man,
she operates out of Vegas.
man, that's the concrete we talking about. That's what we talking about the male leadership and getting the next generation to try to, you know, keep pulling the weight, pulling us up. Go ahead, man. You jump.
You know, it's interesting you say that. Let me say this to you. And I appreciate that, brother. Let me
Yes,
say
sir.
this to you. You know, I made a conscious decision, and that's what black men have to do. We have to make a conscious decision that we're going to be the leaders of our families.
Right.
Hollywood and American society have tried to emasculate us and demasculate us for a very long time. And so consequently, and I put something, I don't know if I talked to you about this, Chris, but I did some content on this recently. Hollywood ran a series of movies, and I ain't talking about back in the black exploitation. Give me those compared to some of the garbage they're putting out now. But they ran a series of movies, and they convinced the world that we were boys in the hood, strapped, menaces to society, looking for the juice. And what they did was desensitize the world to who we are. And so consequently, in order to pierce that veil, man, we have to make a conscious decision to teach our children to be producers and not always consumers.
Man, exactly.
Meaning they
Exactly.
have got to get out there and, the young folks call it get the bag. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But they have to be, we've got to get out of being so consumer minded, man. That's why we can't keep no wealth. We blow it all.
Exactly.
And, in Asian families, I used to go to Japan to train in martial arts. In Asian families, you don't blow money. They don't blow money. They'll live several families in a unit until such time as they learn, and they'll work as apprentices. And then once they learn the business, they break out and go and start their own. Hispanic families have been taught to do the same thing. Jewish families have been, man, they've been taught to do that for the last 500-600 years. That's
Right.
what Zionism is all about. So here we are now.
We just can't get it, man.
Yeah, man, we are consumer minded, and so we have to make a conscious decision to
Right.
train up our children not to be that way.
Well,
I mean,
let me
cut you off though. Sorry.
let me say this, Mr. Bailey. Once again, I want to thank you, Jay, for coming on. This is what we're talking about. Look at what your kids are doing today. And this is why I'm saying that the structure is needed. No one is putting down women. But what I'm saying is men, the balancer, come in when men are involved. Mm-hmm. Because your dad was Martin Luther King's attorney, okay?
Right.
And you look at all of the things that you came up as a young man seeing and what inspired you. And you got those intangibles from your dad and what your dad was involved with. So that set a form of structure for you to be able to provide these things for your kid. Your kids, excuse me.
Yeah,
plural.
I did have examples. I had examples.
Exactly. Right. So the point is what I'm saying is when you look at the system today that's in tow, it has crashed. Most of these kids are crash diving. You know, you're an attorney. And the system tax our kids for bad behavior. And this is structurally brought into place. This is one of the things I was talking about before you came on about Clarence Thomas. and the essence of affirmative action. Now, I want you to think about something. I want you to think about the avenues of the things that once upon a time we had. Like Mr. Producer was talking about, as a child, when he acted out, the neighbors chastised him. They carried him to the parent, and the parents did the same thing, but it was worse. And that's what I'm saying. We don't have that village community anymore. You know, it's like it's far, few, and beyond where it needs to be in today's society, and it's really sad.
Well, Chris, let's explore that for just a second. Just a second. So, part of the problem was in the mentality of the black community today. Part of our problem is that we demanded integration now. We wanted an end to segregation now. We wanted to be assimilated. I'm talking about in the 60s, 50s, 60s, early 70s. We wanted to be assimilated into the mainstream of society. Now, what we did was we gave up all of those institutions that we controlled. You know, there were, you know, in almost every major city in the country, there were black businesses within the black community. We went to our neighborhood schools, everything from the funeral home to where you bought your clothes. We owned those things. Upon criminalizing segregation and our being legally integrated by way of the Civil Rights Act and some other things, you know, unlike other communities, we didn't hold on to ours. So we consequently, you know, it destroyed our neighborhoods. It literally did. Now, of course, I don't want to keep segregation, but what I'm saying is that we were so happy-go-lucky to run and buy from Macy's, you know, and we were so glad to be able to go into a white restaurant and spend our money that we forgot about the brother whose restaurant who'd been feeding our families for 30, 40 years.
And that's crazy because our food probably better.
Better.
Right, and our clothes, you know what I'm saying, they probably would have been better too, would have been the same thing, but it's crazy.
So let me ask you something. Jay, let me ask you a question. With all of the things that you have mentioned, is it possible? You see, Martin Luther King was killed in '68, a few months before I was born. Do you see, and the system is starting to repeal things, like the guy was talking about, what was his name? Is it Adam Crum? The guy that, you know, he's been behind the scenes on the affirmative action thing. But do you see things getting worse, or do you see it being a situation where it's fixable? Can we change this dynamic where it stands or where it is today?
Well, it depends on how you're viewing the dynamic, Chris. So let me tell you how I view it. And I'm not trying to heap this on anybody else, but I look at it and say, okay, now we see what America really thought about us. When they are no longer forced to give contracts to black business folks, you know, because of MBWE programs, when they're no longer forced to allow us into the University of Mississippi or the University of Tennessee or the University of Georgia, let's see how we do. We always had the ability. You know, we didn't have to beg our way in. We always had the ability. But what we were doing was trying to remediate years and decades of segregation, years and decades of not getting a fair shake. But now we are forced to deal with the reality of the fact that they ain't want us there no way. And you've got elected governors like DeSantis, elected senators, and elected members of the House of Representatives on a national level saying it out their mouths. Donald Trump, a former president and the leading candidate for one of the major parties for president in this upcoming election, is openly associating with white supremacists and using memes on his social media platforms that represent white supremacist groups. And so now what do? We are now faced with the reality of the fact that America didn't want to do it anyway. And they used a black man, they used a Sambo. He wasn't Uncle Tom. Everybody gives Uncle Tom a bad name. It was Sambo in that story that was the sellout, not Uncle Tom. And so, they used a black Sambo named Clarence, who married a white woman who was whose whole family was a part of the John Birch Society. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he knew this when he married her, by the way. So here's this guy who writes the strongest opinion, and he says that now we're going to shift to race. What is it? Race neutral.
Right, race neutral, correct.
Yeah, what is that? When I walk up to a counter, I'm not see-through. They can see I'm a black man the moment I step in there. So it ain't race neutral, right? You see where I'm coming from?
Right, I do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so consequently, is it fixable? Yeah, it's fixable by us becoming our own producers.
And you know what? Thank you for saying that, because last week, Mr. Bailey, I specifically said that. Like, the problem with what we see going on today is that we like being lied to. That's the whole thing. Like, we don't realize your son is went to Tuskegee in engineering. We have our schools that we can attend and go to, that we don't necessarily have to go to their universities. All of that being said, we got to go back to those things, because we see now, they say, well, it can't be based off of race. It has to be based off of merit. Well, guess what? I mentioned the Williams sisters last week. If it's based off of merit, we really succeed. And the biggest, as I specifically, and you know this, you're an attorney, the biggest beneficiaries of affirmative action has been that of white women and even white men. It has not been us. But when there's something that, when a precedent needs to be said or put out there, it has to be against us. It has to be something that we're benefiting from. So what I'm saying is, it's a simple fix to that. The simple fix is that we have to go back to the things that work for us. And that's the camaraderie of community. And like I said, we have to put fathers like you back in the homes. You don't necessarily be an attorney. You can be a man on a trash truck. But you have to have structure. You have to have the ways and means to fix a problem that you see persistent. And this is what I'm saying. The system knows exactly what is going on. Let me just say this, Jay. One of the things, I'm going to pivot a second, we'll come back to it. One of the things I want to talk about too is, this is what the United States is not telling people. There's something pushing up that's called BRICS. I'm sure you've heard of it, okay? The United States is getting ready to go into war with China. This is what they're not telling people. Why? Because the world knows that everybody has used, all of these nations have used, huh?
Go ahead.
They have used American currency. Now what is happening is, go ahead.
I ain't mean to stop you. You got to resend what's the name? You sent Jarrell.
What happened? You lost it?
No, you sent him Jarrell Javier link. So now you got to send what's the name another link?
Who?
Javier.
Okay, gosh. All right.
That's why I don't send it until they get ready to go. Jarrell done logged into his.
Okay.
And kicked him.
Okay. Well.
Hold on, I'm finna resend it.
Okay, hold on. So
sorry, people.
All right, my bad. Get some another for that's Bailey's.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all bear with us. Apologize for this. All right, hold on. Give me a text.
Hit a little commercial in.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
If it's hot and you need some air, and you need it done at a price that's fair, drop the Addy right now, we'll meet you there. We your breath of fresh air, Mr. Air Repair. If it's hot and you need some air, and you need it done at a price that's fair, drop the Addy right now, we'll meet you there. We your breath of fresh air, Mr. Air Repair. For quality air at a price that's fair, call Mr. Air Repair. Drop the Addy and we there. We gon' get the AC going, get the AC blowing. When the air get the flowing, you gon' think that it was snowing. Wild ranch of installation, upstairs to the basement. We do everything from hard work to the basics. All you gotta do is call that number, quit waiting. Man, this air so cold, it's guaranteed to have you shake. It's cold. If it's hot and you need some air, and you need it done at a price that's fair, drop the Addy right now, we'll meet you there. We your breath of fresh air, Mr. Air Repair. Hey, for quality air at a price that's fair, call Mr. Air Repair, man. Call him right now at 586-262-4258 and follow him on Instagram and tell him G-Max.
Yeah.
All right, we back.
Yeah, we're good.
Yep.
Okay.
Let me know we're back on.
We back on.
Okay, so Brother Bailey, sorry about that. Sorry that
Oh no problem at all.
to everybody out there. We apologize. That was actually my fault. We got the signals crossed, and me being the dummy that I am, I bumbled that one. But anyway, what I was saying to you is, the United States is at intertwined or tangled up with China right now, and it's all because the United States has been our currency has been the world note. I don't want to pivot too far off, but I'm saying all of that to say this: is that the very minute things that's going on in the community now that we are battling over, like we don't really see the big picture. We don't see the point of trying to save money, put money back, and like I said, like you prepared your kids, like the structure is not there. So all of these things going on, and we're not being able to have access to going to the banks, getting money, and our interest rates. We might have the credit, but our interest rates are 3 times higher. All of these things going on. These things are so chaotic that eventually we become a problem within ourselves that we start to eat each other. Like these things are manifesting right before our eyes, and and this is a part of why my platform is what it is. I try to update our people on certain things. Let me just say this real quickly, brother Bailey. We've been trying to give away money. We actually try to give money away on this show, and to show you how just carefree and not up on things like we should be. Our community won't even do the necessary things to get the money we're trying to give away. So I'm like, me and Mr. Producer go back. They're like, damn, man, what do we have to do? I mean, it's just I don't understand. Our kids are out of control. They are doing things. You got, like I said, you got the policies that are being constructed into law, and these policies against us. It just is. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna turn it back over to you. Let you.
So
give us some guidance.
What did you identify? And forgive my ignorance. What do you identify as the primary problem, Chris?
Okay, that's an excellent question. Well, what I identify as a problem is there are no fathers in the home. That's part of it. That's part of it. The other thing is that the misappropriation of education. Like, we don't understand the importance of education. A lot of these kids now, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So what I'm saying by that is, some of the things that, like when we were coming up, Jay, we had band, we had so many things that we could partake into that help to develop those things is non-existent. A lot of these kids now, man, they can't write, they can't read. A lot of them can't even count money. It's like when you go into a McDonald's or something, and they have to count on the fact of, okay, well, what is it? You want a number one? And that's why that exists. Oh, let me get the number one, or let me get the number two. I still go in. I order food. I don't go in and look at the number one and number two. And a lot of these kids, they have to type the information into the computer, and whatever the computer renders, this is what they give you back. And what I'm saying is, man, all of these things have been the decaying of the structure of our community, man. So that's why these kids are going out. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Let's separate the roles, okay? So first, there's the family unit. The family unit has the parents, siblings, older siblings, and the extended family, aunts, uncles, grandparents. They have a primary role in the education and the raising and the uh, value system, the creation of a value system in our children, in our youth. Then there's the school system. Now that's a real important, okay? So most people don't look into it this deep, but let's take a second just for this, okay? So public school systems are designed to create a labor pool.
Right.
So if you are in public schools in Memphis, they are preparing you to be warehouse workers. Now, that's not to say that they don't have some advanced programs and so forth, but the school systems in a community caters to the jobs in that community. That's what they cater to the employers.
Damn, that makes so
And
much
so in
sense.
places like Memphis, FedEx is the largest employer.
Right. Exactly.
So
True.
so the school system is you're not going to see them taking high tech classes on a large scale. You're not going to see them learning business administration on a large scale. What you're going to see them doing is getting remedial classes, and they're preparing them for the labor pool that they will graduate into. If you're in San Francisco or Berkeley, California, you're going to be taking computer. They're going to prepare you for the computer industry because Silicon Valley is out there. That's their primary industry, right?
Right.
Same in New York, the financial industry. You're going to take all kind of math and finance classes in public schools in those cities. So now, and the reason I'm bringing this up is to say this. So you got the family unit, but 8 hours a day, 8 to 10 hours a day, our kids are at school. So they're in the hands of somebody that's preparing them for something wholly different than what our outlook is for them. So we have to teach our children to pay. Now, I mean, all of us can't afford to go to private schools. So we have to teach our children beyond what they instilled in them in the public school system. Most public school systems are garbage.
Right.
And they know it. I'm not telling them anything that they don't know. They know it. And the teachers, not all teachers now, mind you, we have some good educators out there, but I'm saying these young teachers that are coming on board now, a whole lot of them are there for a paycheck. They don't care very much about what happens to the children when they leave their classroom. And so consequently, you're seeing that. You see the family unit has failed them. Ain't no daddy in the home. We're going to come back to that one, Chris.
You're
Mr.
right.
Producer, we're going to come back to that one in a minute, right? Then the people who have, it's called locus parentis, the local parent, which the substitute parent, which is the school system, which is where they are most of their days, right?
Right.
Monday through Friday, they're not there on weekends, right? They failing them. So what chance do these young folks have? And then there's this other part. It's the culture, arts and the fine arts, which includes acting, it includes film, it includes music. That's the other part of society that we haven't talked about. What is the music scene drilling into the heads of our young ladies and our young men? Man, let me tell you something. I heard you talking about when I first was coming on the BET Awards.
Right.
I was appalled at the BET Awards. I remember a time when Don Cornelius wouldn't let you come on Soul Train.
Right, exactly.
If you were underdressed. You couldn't look like no hoodlum, and you couldn't be underdressed. I remember when the American Music Awards were on, and when BET first started. And we're going to talk about BET in a second, but the value has changed. So now they don't wear suits. They don't wear, what's that sister name? Sexy Red. Yeah. Man, I ain't never seen something more appalling in my life.
Her booty hole brown.
Yeah, man. I ain't never seen. her booty hole and her coochie is what is the sum total and the sum value of her music. Now, I'm not trying to dog that sister out, but what I'm trying to say is that if you take a 10-year-old kid and he's surrounded by parents that aren't teaching him anything, his parents are not much older than him, and they're consumers, they're not producers. And then he goes to school, and the school teaches him to be a consumer. And then when he turns on the radio, or when he turns on his computer or goes on YouTube, it's teaching him to be something
Consumer,
other than,
right.
yeah. So what chance does a kid have, man?
And you know,
Doesn't
that's
have
the
a chance.
eerie part about these policies that's being constructed now, because this is what I'm saying. This is the importance of black fathers.
Yeah.
I mean, I want you to think about this. Even this from the aspect, Jay, that this stuff that the music material that, like the girl, what's her name? Sexy Red, what's her name?
Yeah, Sexy Red.
Sexy Red.
Okay. What she say, a coochie hole pink?
Her booty hole brown.
Okay, so
Town.
I mean, come on, man. Like, I want you to think about the aspect of a child hearing this bullshit. Like, man, it's literally it's unthinkable, man. And these girls, these young girls come up and they think that this is the way. Like, black women are being over sexualized in the music. Like, I did hear a song put out there where abortion and child support is being promoted in the music. Now, the whole point is this, Jay, is the things that are going on is the people that I'm not finna call them out, because, you know, I'm just not gonna do that on this platform. Not today anyway. But the point is what I'm saying is they have given us this culture. They have given this to us. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And the fact of the matter is, if this was being handed to their culture, it would be something totally unacceptable. And what I'm saying is, this is at a point in time where if we don't get a grip on this thing, then guess what's going to happen? There are no more Malcolm X or Martin Luther Kings. That time is over and done with. They were killed off. Okay? And what happens now is each year is so bad that they're sitting back and there's a calculation of when they're going. And I'm seriously. Let me just say this, because I like to forget it, but I want to say something. You talked about Ron DeSantis, right? This is what I want to say to you, Jay. Like, you got Pence, you got the other guy from South Carolina, the black guy. What's his name? Tim Scott. Is that his name?
Yeah, Tim Scott.
You got Tim Scott. You got the little V-Jack, whatever his name, the little Indian kid. He was on the Breakfast Club. Mm-hmm. But you got all of these individuals running for president. They don't have a shit chance in hell to be president. You know why? Because they haven't shown the radical racism that was represented within the Republican Party. You have to be now it's all out on the table.
Don't count them out, man. Don't count them out. To show
but what I'm saying is, listen, Donald Trump showed them how to be to the point, and they've been the things that you are seeing. They've been wanting to say this all along. I want you to think about something. The Kavanaugh and all these people that have been put on the Supreme Court, this has been a calculated, conscientious decision. They've been plotting and planning this, and it took Donald Trump, the man that has 31 indictments against him right now as it stands. It took him to put these people on the Supreme Court. So, and what it tempts us out to, Brother Bailey, is this: they are afraid of being in the minority. That's what this is. They see
It is, bro.
themselves,
I agree with you.
they see themselves losing power. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this because me and Mr. Producer, we got in somebody's ass about this the other day. The problems that you see persistent right now, had not Barack Obama got elected, you never would have seen it. All of the things that you see now, Trump came out of, he got elected because Obama.
That's right. It was a backlash to.
Okay, that's it right there. That's all I'm going to say.
There's no question about it. Absolutely no question about that.
Okay, so black people, all of the things that you're seeing with affirmative action, and like I say, we don't need it. Let's put that out there. We don't need it. But guess what? The things that we do need, nobody's talking about it. But all of the problems that you see today going on in your community, they're going on right now, excuse me, because Barack Obama became president. That's where all of this shit is coming from. And no one is stepping up to fix it. And it's not going to get fixed. But I'm going to go on and let you add to that. And then I want to talk about something I have to ask you about. I have to ask you about John Morant, but before we go there, I want you to speak on what I just put out there. Go ahead.
Well, so first of all, the Donald Trump's election was without question a response to a black man with a dark-skinned black wife living in the White House.
Right.
Without any question, that was the backlash that conservative white America gave us, okay? And they had been there all the time. They were just dormant. But Trump gave them he showed them that you could be bold enough to say certain things and get away with it.
Right.
Once they saw that they could get away with it and there was no repercussions to it, and that's the important part to remember. Now, there have to be repercussions. A person will think twice about their actions and what comes out of their mouths and between their lips if there are harsh repercussions.
Right.
Our problem is that that white man that was selling us pillows, I forget his name right now.
Yeah, the pillow man.
He could pull up a truck full of pillows and mattresses, and I wouldn't take one if they were free.
Right.
But let him go over to North Atlanta and pull up a truck and have a sign out there for free. But they don't care. They're gonna be standing in the line and be around the corner. My point is that we will let folks get away with it, and there are no repercussions, man. And so if there are no repercussions to it, they're gonna keep coming out the woodwork.
Right.
That's the problem, and we have to punish them for that kind of behavior. The best way to punish them is to not spend our money.
There you go.
In certain places. They depend on our money. Don't let them fool you. They depend on black and brown people's money. We are the consumers that buy their products.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
I mean, what would Nike do if black folks stopped wearing Nike?
Right.
You see where I'm coming from, right?
Exactly. I do.
Yeah, we have to create repercussions for them, man. But now I'm gonna shock you a little bit. I smiled when I saw the affirmative action decision. First of all, it's been coming for a long time. They've been trying to do that for a long time. But I thought my thought patterns were, okay, now black folk, what we gonna do? What you gonna do? Are we gonna keep begging, or are we gonna start attending HBCUs? Are we gonna start demanding that our children not be mediocre but excel? Are we gonna start doing? What is our reaction to America going to be? You see, begging and pleading with them is not going to work. They just told you who they thought we were.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so we have to retool our thinking and retool our behavior so that we begin funneling our monies. We are big. On a global scale, the black dollar is huge.
$1.9 trillion.
That's right. It's huge. So if we begin to develop a concerted effort an organized effort to only deal with folks that we find acceptable, right? And not spend our money in certain places. Let me tell you what will happen. Just like the NRA, if the NRA, you'll never see anybody in Congress attack the NRA, not from the Republican side,
Right.
because if the NRA pulls this money, they don't get reelected. Okay, and I'm simplifying it, but you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
So what would happen if let's take a company that gives a lot of money to elected officials, a Federal Express, UPS,
Or the Cox brothers, the Koch brothers.
the Koch brothers, the Koch brothers. What if we stop shopping at places that they supply, and they start seeing their stock prices go down? They start seeing their value, and now their net worth is starting to creep out of the house. Oh man, let me tell you something. They change personnel in DC in a heartbeat.
Right, exactly.
Because that's what moves them. It's the money.
Right.
It's the
And
money that moves them. Now, last thing, let me say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me say this. The other thing is that we have got to start thinking globally. The world is no longer local. Because of the internet, everything is global.
It's global, correct.
It's global. So you were talking about black businesses and so forth earlier. You know, we don't have to depend on our local community for money, man. We can begin doing business. You know, Chris, somebody in Malaysia is watching your show right now.
Right,
somebody
exactly.
In Japan is watching your show right now. Somebody in Nigeria is watching your show right now. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the platform is open to the world.
Right.
Literally to the world. We've got to come up with ways to take advantage of that. Trump's children came out of the White House. His daughter and her husband made $2 billion with a B dollars
Right.
almost immediately after they left the White House.
Right.
His daughter and their oldest son, Don Jr., had over 500 patents in China.
Right.
They had a clothing line in China. I mean, you know, they're thinking globally.
Right.
We got to learn to think globally.
Man, we got to
And
think
I don't
globally,
mean to
man.
take so much time.
That's positive. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to think globally, man. We're giving up. We're so narrowly focused on what's immediate and right in front of us that we are just totally ignoring 4 billion people out there that are potential consumers of our products.
Right, exactly.
Man.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's not radical. It's a simple fix. You know, I was watching something the other day. Stephen A. Smith and Will Kane on Stephen A. Me and Stephen A. have, believe it or not, me and him have went back and forth at each other with these podcasts. But
really?
Yeah. Matter of fact, it was, and I'm that's why I'm moving to go to Ja Morant and Kyrie Irving. Okay, yeah, we went. Me and Stephen A. We bump heads. But he was on Will Kane's program, or better yet, he did something on the affirmative action. Will Kane brought him on. Now, Will Kane is a guy that went to the University of Texas.
Okay.
He was not qualified to be on that of, and I looked him up. He was not qualified to be on that of ESPN. But what he did, he hired an agent. He never played no sports. He's done shit. But he hired an agent, and the agent got him on there. He initially was at CNN. He left CNN, went to ESPN, which is Disney. He left ESPN. Now he's at Fox. He has his own show. But how he was able to transition to these jobs, Jay, was for the fact of the agent. Now, he's the first one to holler to talk about merit. And this is why I'm saying we don't need quota programs. We have the merit. All we need is the opportunity. But when they close the door on us, we have to create our own opportunity. And how you fix this is you put positive fathers back in the home with some structure, and guess what they're going to do? They are going to give their kids the structure needed. Let me say this. My daddy came from an area, Lowndes County, Alabama. All he did all his life was farm. So he didn't have a good education, but he saw that his kids did. You understand what I'm saying? And all of those things being what they are today. Now he passed away in 2015. I think back more now on the things that my dad instructed me on, and I was able to share with my kids, Jay, and I also share with my grandbabies. But I see all of that because although my dad didn't have a college education, he did the very best that he could. And guess what? He worked 2 and 3 jobs, but he made sure that we didn't suffer or need those things that we see going on today. Those things are not prevalent now. We don't have that structure. And what I'm saying is fixable. And once we start to do commerce with each other, as you simply said, then it's fixable. But this is what I want to do. This is what I want to ask you. You're in Memphis, Tennessee. And at once upon a time, Memphis was considered the murder capital of the United States.
Probably still in the top 5 for sure.
I'm sorry, say again?
I'm sure we're still in the top 5.
Oh, I don't doubt that. There was recently a young guy by the name of Young Dog that was gunned down at a cookie shop. Then you had the other situation. Matter of fact, you and I talked about this earlier. There was a situation where the Tyrese Nichols were killed by the 5 police officers there, and his family has filed a $500 million lawsuit against the police officer and the police department and the chief of police that used to be here in Atlanta. She's there now as a police chief. Now they're trying to wiggle out of that lawsuit. But I'm saying all of that to simply say this, Jay, that from what I've seen, when Martin Luther King came there, he lost his life in Memphis. And the city that you're in has been on the decline. Like I know the Barcades there. I keep in contact with some of those. Larry Dawson is no longer with him. He's doing his own thing. But Larry Johnson and all those guys, I'm friends with those guys. Go ahead. Were you just gonna say something?
No, I was saying I know most of the original members of the Barcades. Matter of fact, Larry Dodson and James Alexander are personal friends of mine.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, Larry knows me, but this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. All right. So the situation there and there are a lot of just crazy things that go on in Memphis. The city where I'm from, my native city, is no different. Like Montgomery is smaller than Memphis, but that's what I'm saying. The structure that's going on now, or I take that back, there is no structure. And Memphis, with all of the crime that goes on there and here, now it's a open and carry city. And what I'm saying, Jay, is that, man, like, who steps up to correct this foolishness, man? It's eerie.
So can we break this down to? Let's boil this down to the fat. Let's boil this down to the bone, okay? If you'll allow me to use a.
Go ahead. You got the floor.
Okay. All right. So, we all understand the Genesis story, the biblical Genesis story.
Right.
That is
the beginning.
God made Adam, then he created Eve to be a helpmeet to Adam. But before Eve was created, listen to this. Before that black woman was created, God told Adam that he had dominion and control over everything, even, now get this, because if you go read it, you're going to see it, even the creeping things on the ground. Fast forward. God didn't give that instruction to Eve. He gave that instruction to Adam.
Right.
And he told Adam, you are in charge. You are the one who I am utilizing to run this family unit, right?
Correct.
So this creeping thing creeps right up to Eve and starts holding a conversation with her. Now the sister tried to tell the serpent. She said, "Wait a minute, that ain't what God said. God said we can't eat of this right here."
Right.
And the serpent said, you misinterpreted what he said. That ain't what he meant, right? You ain't gonna die, right? Where was Adam? Now, if you read that story, I'm coming to my point. If you read that story, the Bible says that Eve ate of the fruit and then turned to Adam, who was with her. It literally says that.
Right.
Okay? So Adam remained silent during this whole conversation, doing all that beguiling of his woman. What's wrong with our family and our young children today? The black man has been silent. We've either been silent through our absence or silent in that our self-esteem has been so low that we just don't challenge what goes on in our presence.
How we fix it?
So that's what I'm getting at. So consequently, we have to step back into our role. Our role we were designed, brother. We were created. We were, it is in our nature, our essence, to be the head of our families.
Right.
To be the nurturer and provider for our families. And for as long as we're not providing, for as long as we're not nurturing, for as long as we calling our woman bitches and hoes, and for as long as we don't instill and we put up with anything, she ain't gonna have no respect for us.
Right.
And so consequently, the kids don't either. So they go looking for that manhood. They go looking for that brotherhood. They go looking for that male connection in the street. So the first step to, as you said, creating a fix is we got to take control of our families. That's why I broke that down a few minutes ago about the various units. There's the family unit, then there's the education unit, and because each one of those things plays a different role in our kids' lives, right?
Exactly.
And so what I'm saying to you is that the hard job is that we have got to regain control of our homes. And let me tell you something. No worse enemy in the world than the one that lay his or her head next to you.
That's so true. Yep.
When she gets sick of you, when you don't bring any money into the house, you just playing PlayStation while she going to work. I'm being overly general on purpose.
All right, come on with it.
Yeah, I'm doing that on purpose.
Come on with it.
Yeah, come on. Then what respect should that woman have for you?
Right.
Her security is found in being able to take care of those kids. Man.
Right.
And if you're not doing it, she's going to begin to ball up, and she's going to instill into them what she knows. Well, that was never her role. So she's ill-equipped. She's ill-equipped to teach a young boy the true nature of being a man.
I said earlier.
She can't do that.
Right.
And I'm not saying they don't do a good job. They do a good job raising our children. I'm married to one, okay? But what I'm saying to you is that until we are no longer absent, till we begin, you ain't got to even if you're not in the home, you still ought to be in your children's lives.
Exactly.
You ought to be directing them. You are not allowed the serpent to creep into their lives and to direct them into being nothing.
Right.
You understand what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's all I'm saying. So that's in my opinion, the initial fix begins in the home. You couldn't tell one of my kids, listen to this. I guarantee you, I give you their numbers and I don't have to be there. You can call any one of my children or my grandchildren. And I guarantee you, you couldn't convince them that their destiny ain't to be the owner of their own businesses, or that you can't tell them that they don't have, that they ain't what they gonna do in life. They'll tell you, well, no, that ain't what my daddy said. Oh, no, that ain't one of my granddaddies. You understand what I mean?
Right.
They're going to tell you that. They're going to tell you that. And so that's all I'm saying. If all of us at least try to do that, I think that you'll begin to see some remarkable differences, you know. That sexy red gal, her daddy should have called her and told her to go put some clothes on.
Well, let me just say this, Brother Bailey. I don't think that her father is there to do that. But let me let me do this. This is what because
I was being facetious,
go,
but okay.
this is what I want to ask you since we're on. Let's take a situation. You're in Memphis, but let's talk about Ja Morant, Demetrius Jamel, Ja Morant. Now, here it is. This young man is one of the most talented players in the NBA, hands down. Okay? Yeah. His father is in his life. This kid father is in his life. And a lot of bad decisions have been made. Okay? And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on, because I already know that you are interconnected, not saying that you're responsible for anything that he does, but you know people around that situation with him. But this is what I want to ask you, Jay, is this.
Yes.
When you have a young man like Ja Morant, like these guys are getting, he was up right now for $250 million for 5 years. Okay? I want you to think about that. $250 million for 5 years. And and this is what I'm talking about, the culture of, I want you to think about that. Memphis. $250 million. Okay, we got feedback. Anyway, I want you to think about the situation with him getting the $250 million, okay? And because of the culture there in Memphis, he's probably going to miss out now because they gave him, 40 games? Was the producer?
25.
Okay, I'm sorry. They gave him 25 games, right? That being said, Jay, this young man dad is in his life. But I want to ask you, what the hell went wrong with that situation? Because his dad is there, and you in like I say, I know you know people interconnected with this young man, and I'm not putting anything on your back. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm trying to figure out at this point, how does something like that get completely discombobulated? And is that situation fixable?
It's fixable. Yeah, it's fixable. I mean, he's still rich, and he still has a chance. He's still talented too, and they've just got to get control of him. And I think they're trying to. They brought Derrick Rose in, and they only gave him like a 1 or 2 year contract. I believe that the reason they brought him in was to was for guidance. I really believe that. Now the Grizzlies owners have not stood by. They stood by Morant, kind of. You know, they took his explanations the first time, but recently they have shown that they're getting real tired of him. So by bringing in some more experienced players, because you know the Grizzlies' whole roster was they were all young guys. They didn't have not one senior player in his late 30s or mid 30s on the team, not one. And so consequently, you don't have that locker room general, who calls them at night and says, the team general that calls and says, "Hey man, why you out? You know we got a game this week. Go home. That kind of thing." And I think that they're going to get a grip on that young man. I really do. Now, listen, I got to watch what I say on this because my brother was one of the lawyers on it. But, and so I don't want to cross too far into
No,
that.
and I don't want you to. I don't want you to.
Yeah,
I don't want you to do anything that would jeopardize your brother or John Morant. So go right ahead.
Yeah. If you just watch his dad's behavior at the games, just at the games, he's not much of a role model in that respect.
He want to be one of the boys.
Yeah, he does. You said it for me. And you can't do that, man. You got to be a dad. You can't be you can be your child's friend, but you can't be his boy.
He has to be a parent, right?
Be his dad. Yeah, you got to be his dad. And that's the problem. That's a big part of the problem. He ain't afraid to act a fool in front of his father.
So let me do this, Jay. Due to the fact that we have somebody coming up.
Chris.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, hold on, Chris. Let me just say this.
Yeah,
what do you think Peyton Manning's dad, Archie Manning, would have done if he saw his son, one of his sons, behaving in that manner?
That's an excellent question. You know what? Let me tell you what I think he would have done. This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the camaraderie and the structure of just guidance. Matter of fact, I mean, I can pivot to you. What I'm saying is,
what do you think he would have done?
I think he would have taken that goat by the horns and say, look here. Let me tell you something. Listen, I did not prepare you, and I did not prepare that table for you to go out here to embarrass my name, to embarrass yourself, and to embarrass your race.
Well put.
Okay? Mm-hmm. That's the structure that Peyton Manning daddy would have done. And this is what I'm saying. What becomes problematic in our community is we don't have that anymore. You do it. I do it. But we're far and few. Something has happened, Jay, in the process that has not gone right. And what I'm saying is we become the minority within the minority. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And the sad aspect of all of that becomes who's going to step up and say, look here, this is not the way that we do things. Like Mr. Producer said, this guy's hold on,
it's been
I hate this.
I've been watching a lot of videos about stuff like this. Like a lot of the younger guys getting on Dr. Umar, because Umar's, he's saying that it's our fault. That, I mean, he's saying that the stronger men in the community need to kind of take, a couple kids under their wing and kind of show them the way. And a lot of these up and coming guys, younger guys that got a little money, they red pilling it out. They saying, no, why should we raise another man kid, blase, blase. But at the same time, we still as a race, we still not close to where the other ones, where the other race is at. So we still trying to figure this thing out, but that's not a bad idea. I mean, it's hard to come up with something when everybody can't get on one accord, but if I see a younger guy out there that needs some help, I'm going to help him. I'm going to, kind of show him the route I took, or, show him, trying to give him some different suggestions. But
that's right. You're going to impart knowledge and to that kid, and it don't matter where it came from.
Right.
Wisdom is wisdom, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, Jay, let me do this. This is what we're gonna do, brother. I have enjoyed you, but before we do this, you in the process of launching a podcast too? Am I correct?
Yeah, I am, and I actually have been followers getting quite a few ideas.
Okay. Well, this is we definitely want to play a part. I've talked to the guy that's behind my content, and like I was telling you before, you want to do it, but you want to be monetized too. So that plays a major point. You get paid for what you're doing, and that's all in good because that makes it a lot better. But
Yeah, yes.
this is what I want to do. We're going to bring you back here.
Sure.
We want you to come back, and we have really enjoyed. I mean, I wish we had more time, but we're gonna bring you back. We're gonna put it like that. We'll talk off the air. And matter of fact, we'll even before you get ready to get full fledged into your thing, I want you to host the show.
Yes.
We'll get together. We'll put something together, and just let you go, let you do your thing, man. I always, like I said, I've always admired you, man. Your wisdom, your
Thank you, brother.
tenacity, the things that you do, and you are a good brother that's heavy, that has a lot of just good ideas of things that I think that could be used to change the dynamic in our community. That being said, I'm gonna give you the last word. Then we're gonna go to a commercial, and we're gonna bring up another person by the name of Jay Braswell. But go ahead. I'm gonna give you the last word.
Okay, well, thanks for having me, my man. I really appreciate it. I enjoy having these kind of conversations. I'm available anytime you tell me. Even when I travel a lot, but even when traveling, I've always got my computer and other things with me. So I love it. I'd love to have it. But as I depart, let me say this, that it is now time that we get control of our own lives, our
Right.
own community, our own children. We have got to start being responsible and accountable for what happens in our lives. Therein lies the truth.
Okay. All right. Brother Jay, appreciate you, man. We'll talk off the air. I'll give you a call and we'll go from there.
Sure.
Everybody, that
Thank you.
was Javier J. Bailey, entrepreneur and attorney in the city of Memphis, Tennessee. We're going to take a quick break, commercial break, and we're going to come right back with Jay Braswell. Everybody, hang on. Coming right back to you.
And we back. Hold on, before we get started, I want to announce the winner to the Cash App, Jocelyn Baxter. Jocelyn Baxter, send inbox us your Cash App. Inbox us your Cash App. You won $25. Jocelyn Baxter. All right.
Jay.
What it do, what it do?
What's happening, man?
Can't call it out.
Hey, man, we need some light, man. We can't see you, man.
Trying to get it together. How about
What's going on, bruh?
yeah, man, working as you.
Man,
Okay.
there you go. There you go. Everybody, this is world-renowned, famous comedian that's out on the road, Jarrell Braswell. What's happening, brother?
Man, shit ain't nothing much, man. It's like right now, and that's summer. Right now, the family coming off the road. Just working, trying to stay busy.
Man, I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell everybody what's been going on with you. Let me just say this. Back in 2015, before I lost my dad, me and Jarrell and Mr. Producer had actually embarked on a concept. We created what's called the WBBC. It was a hell of a concept. 2016, was it 2016, 2017? We finally had our first.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 2017. It was 2017 because it was for all that Fed shit happened to me. But I came to this brother right here, and he jumped right on board with me. And Jarrell has been he's been very supportive of whatever it is I've ever done. He's been supportive, man. He's like, man, man, do your thing, man. I'm with you. When I'm in Dallas, I call him. We talk. You know, this brother calls me. He'll call me when he don't hear from me. He'll call me, man. You all right? You good? Man? Listen, man. People don't realize how important that. That's what we were just talking about. The attorney, Jay Bailey, that was on the entrepreneur there in Memphis. Kids are outstanding. His brother actually represents John Morant. Okay, but the point is, we were just talking about the camaraderie that you and I have, Jarrell. You know what I'm saying? Man, that shit means man, I love you, man. I do, man. And I've been just as you've been supportive of me, I've been supportive of you. Yeah, and you and I talk all the time, man. I was out in California. You out there, you doing comedy, Laugh Factory. You everywhere. You been on the road, crisscrossing the country with that of Bubba Dub. Bubba Dub is your that's your partner. Cool with Snoop Dogg and Floyd Mayweather. I mean, just man, y'all doing major shit, man. But this is what I have to. This is what I want people to understand. Like,
gotta get the hell. Gotta leave.
People got to. If it's something you inspire to do, like Jarrell is this dude for the last 6 months has been on the road from New York to Philadelphia, Canada. He every fucking where. But he had to leave Alabama to achieve his goal. Yeah. Okay, but one of the things I love about Jarrell is he comes back. He comes back to check on his folks. What'd you say, nigga? I'm in town. You know, he gonna call you, let you know I'm in town for a couple of days. Get at me. You know what I'm saying? But Jarrell, go on, just lace everybody up with what's been going on with you, man. How you doing? And what I mean, y'all working on a movie. What's the guy? Pinky. You and Pinky doing some shit together.
And that already out. It's on called Bid for Love. Next we doing a bid for BET Plus, but main box office. But I've been killing like IMBD. I'm all over. I got like out name everything, and just just working. Then partnering up with Dion level, man. It, like straight with him started motor and took part on other shit. You know.
Right.
And with game time on vice court, it's crazy that or maybe game I already had a relationship with.
Let me stop you real quick. For some reason, it's probably, I know you out in the country right now, but you're breaking up real bad on me. We might have to come back to the link, but I forgot to add this. Like, Jarrell also has been in business with that of Deion Sanders and his son. So, but anyway, let's. I'm gonna let you go back. Hopefully, well off. Yeah, this dude has been part of has a part of well off, which is Deion Sanders and Deion Sanders Jr. But anyway, Jarrell, go ahead. Let's hopefully there you go. There it is right there. Jarrell, go on and let's see if the signal clears, man.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Now? Better now.
Yeah,
better?
so far.
Okay. Just in Colorado they doing, but I just had to stay in my lane with the company. You know? I mean, big, but it's so much being in movies, writing up on the life. I came around.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yep.
Okay, so anyway, yes, the signal is bad. We're gonna try to work with you, but I just got a couple of quick questions, Jarrell. So you in a movie with what's the actor name? Pinky.
Yeah, Clifton Powell.
Okay.
Clifton Powell, man.
Yeah. Shit, I don't be up on all that stuff, man. Shit, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, so. You got that going on. What you and Bubba Dub doing right now?
Oh man, shit, man. Look, all the country right now. It didn't bust them crazy. Every show we selling out. 2-3 shows, all the mugs out. So we doing right now, but we got some got coming up. On it. That we're working on right now too.
Goddamn trash, man.
Yeah. So I was me and Mr. Producer. Listen, everybody. Let's get something clear. All right. Before LeBron James ever went to the Lakers, right now, Mr. Producer, man, love night. This dude would literally jump on me for talking shit about LeBron. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? I do. But before LeBron ever got to the Lakers, I was an LA Laker fan. All right. Now this shit goes back to the days when my daddy, when Wilt Chamberlain was playing for the Lakers. Then you had Wilt Chamberlain, and then you had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic, and Kobe, and now LeBron.
How you gonna leave out Worthy, man?
Well, yeah, Worthy. Okay, well, my mind on my, I'm struggling, but this is the thing, Jarrell. Your partner, Bubba Dub, went in on Golden State, man. He was talking, him and Snoop Dogg, then they were goddamn, talking cash shit on the phone, and so for me, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Now my son started me to like it, Golden State. You know what I'm saying? So I say, God damn. So I told Mr. Producer, I said, Mr. Producer, I said, man, when they play Denver gonna get that ass. Man, go on, you know what the hell you talking about, you know what the hell you talking. And so I say, well, fuck, I say, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna when they lost LA lost the first two. And don't get me wrong, I like LA, I do. LA is my favorite team, right? So it don't matter who go there. Shit, Joker can go to L.A. Shit, I'm still gonna cheer for L.A. Cause that's my thing. That's my city. Los Angeles is my city. But this is what I'm saying, right? So I sent you some shit to send to Bubba though. You probably didn't send it to her. You're like, man, what the fuck Chris Miles got going on? But I sent you some shit to send to her because I ain't like how you were fucking with Golden State. You know what I'm saying? So I sent it over to Mr. Producer. Mr. Producer got mad as hell with me, man. I say, listen, man, the motherfucker gonna sweep the Lakers. Man, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. You know what I'm saying? But I had sent the shit to you, so I want to ask you about that. Did you send that shit to Bubba Dub, man?
So much shit I sent to Dub, I can't even tell you so much shit I sent to him.
Man, you supposed to say, I'm your boy, man. You supposed to send my shit before I'm supposed to take precedent on everybody else. You know what I'm saying? But Mr. Producer was like, man, fuck you, man. That shit. But anyway, Jarrell, man, you my dude, man. So anyway, you got the movie going on. You been on tour. What else you doing, man?
Now I got another movie, matter couple September calls. Like I got a major role in that. Working, man. Mini move. Start my own company too.
I saw that. Right.
It's just working, bro. You know, solely, you know, doing.
So, Jarrell, part of that is you said something that was very interesting. You said, man, I had to leave Montgomery. So, for everybody out there just inspiring to follow your footsteps, right? In the film industry, and I worked in the film industry back in 2009, 2008, and that kind. Of course, you know about all that stuff, but that's neither here or there. But what this is what I want to ask you. For all of the young talent that's coming up that inspire, if they're in the music industry or film or want to be comedians, what encouragement would you have to give them to get to where you are and where you're going with what it is that you're accomplishing at this point?
And first and foremost, relationship. If you're doing right, you're doing good. Ain't nobody trying to fuck with you. But you ain't doing what you're supposed to. Your network. Hey, everybody like go. First, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not doing no good, but just that you got to get out. Face, man. Work out on and really just audience. Got it, man. That's all I did.
Okay. Well, I don't. Let me say this, Jarrell. Once again, we got quite a few people that are watching. Your signal is bad. This is what we're gonna do. Is there any way on your part? And I know, like I say, people, this is a part of this is a part of coming back to Alabama. He's in rural Alabama. You know, he come in to check on his folk. Make sure everything good. Oh, Jarrell, before I ask you that, man, you did something the other day, man. Man, I hollered when I seen this shit, man, about the church.
Oh yeah.
Man, look here, man. Yeah, I want to encourage everybody out there. Jarrell, do this, man. Tell everybody how they can find you. Where are you as far as you are on social media? So tell everybody how they can find Jarrell Braswell.
Pretty much you can Google me, but Instagram, real Twitter, real JB. Shit, I'm on Threads, Facebook, reading Braswell, real Braswell fan. All this stuff will pop up. Like I said, I'm everywhere, just making my name, divided to make it a household.
So this is what we're gonna do, brother. We are going to, due to the fact of signal. Let me ask you this, Jarrell. You go back on the road when?
First.
August 1st?
No, July 21st.
Okay. Oh shit, that's in what, about a week, isn't it?
About a week.
Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring you back. I will call you off the air.
Okay.
Let's set another time and date for you to come back on because I really want everybody to get familiar with you. Okay?
Oh,
for the ones that don't know you, a lot of people in the city of Montgomery, they are familiar with you. Like you guys did, you initially started out doing a skit, Rick Ross, and is that stuff still on YouTube?
Still on YouTube.
Okay. So this is what I'm gonna do, everybody. I'm going to get with Jay Braswell, and I'm going to post those links. Like Rick Ross, rapper Rick Ross, gave a shout out to the city of Montgomery. And this young man that you all see that's on the Chris Miles show is the reason why he did that. Okay? So this brother has been plugging. He's finally gotten to where he wants to be in entertainment. Like he's in LA. Last time he was out there, I miss you. But he's in LA, he's doing his thing. He lives in Texas. He's a resident of Texas now. But what he's saying is he's telling everybody that he had to leave the state of Alabama. And that's really sad that in order for somebody to accomplish their goals, they have to exit the state of Alabama. Like nothing goes in and nothing comes out. But he's on track. And this is the thing too. You were in the military, correct, Jarrell?
Yeah, correct. Yep.
How many years were you in the military?
I did 8 years in the Marine.
8 years in the Marine. So we thank you for your service. So this is what I'm saying, people. This is a good brother, man. Like, he's paid his dues. He's paid his dues. He was in the military. He did his thing in the military. He's was doing comic in the military. I came across him by, the stuff the skits that he was doing and all of these things here. I went and found him. And he received me, man. He said, listen, man, whatever you going to do, man, I'm with you. Me and Mr. Producer came up with this concept. And everything was going to plan. I had left. I had moved to Las Vegas. Then I got hemmed up. And all that shit fell apart. But Brother Jarrell, he kept plugging, and he's at that plateau now. Jarrell, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give you the last word. We're going to bring you back. Hopefully in a couple of weeks, or maybe, I don't know, you might be in Philadelphia, New York somewhere, but we're going to bring you back, give you an opportunity to finish off this conversation. But let me give you the last word, and we'll go from there. Go ahead.
Shit, man, y'all just go follow. Google me, Real Braswell, Jay Braswell, the real JB Well, look all the I got part 2, major box off, skip thing. Watch out for.
Okay. Well, anyway, people, AJ, we appreciate you for coming on. What we're gonna do, everybody, we're gonna bring Jarrell back hopefully in a couple of weeks. He goes back on the road on the 21st of July. Right now, like I say, he's actually crisscrossing the country with Bubba Dub. They're on tour. He's also he's a partner and well off with that of Deion Sanders and his son. This brother got a lot of good things going on, and he's from Alabama. He's from about 15 minutes outside of Montgomery. But we want to thank him for coming on. We want to thank our guest, Javier Bailey. We want to thank a Memphis businessman and attorney. And we want to thank Jarrell. Okay, all right. We want to thank Jarrell for coming on. And we are going to end the show for this evening. Hopefully, Most High willing, we'll be back here next week, same time, same place. And hopefully we might be able to get Catalina rescheduled. She was actually traveling on the road. She's in Vegas, so she did reach out and say that she apologized that she wasn't going to be able to make the show. But that's cool. We'll try to get her rescheduled. We're going to get Jarrell back. And also, we're going to bring Jay Bailey back. Anyway, everybody out there, be safe, man. Enjoy your week, man. Take care of yourself. Protect yourself. And Most High willing, we'll see you guys back same time, same place. Until then, the Moving Finger Rights has written moves on. To all of you, good day.
Thank you.